Good evening, Merriam, 17:53 Central Time on Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Get ready for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting.
Going from hot to cold, and I go into the office and it'll be 50-something degrees out there.
Make sure that that's within your reach, Billy.
Within my reach.
That's what it says in the new policy.
Huh.
I know, yeah. It should be set up next to the
me out
member of the
shoveling snow,
public.
it's 4 degrees, I'm in a
At the rear,
t-shirt and
and shall
sweatpants,
not be
you know.
left unattended.
I'm kind of like you. I think you're more.
Well, that's not the rear, the
Extreme.
seating is the rear, so you need to
That's
be
a little more
on the
extreme.
chairs. I know. There are chairs, you have a tripod.
Here you go, on the top.
Yeah. That's not a chair, Billy. It says specifically, you need to be seated in the rear. Would you like the policy?
Yeah, plenty of copies.
Okay, then have a seat and follow the policy, please.
Okay. You can have a seat as well.
I will, but I'm asking you, out of respect for this board, to follow the policy. So please have a seat and take your camera and follow the policy.
Alexandria just called, she's stuck behind the train, she's at
Okay,
here, so she.
thank you so much.
He's great. He is gonna be 2 in July.
I know it's coming up soon.
Yeah, he's doing great. I know, he's already.
That's a lot of energy too.
Uh-huh.
They're all wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting on to like, we definitely know no, yes, mine, always, or yes. Trying to put him down to sleep, and he's realized like he can take his binky and throw it, and then go like, uh-oh, and yeah, I'm like, I'm not playing that game. It's like, either get the binky or you don't.
Dance, mommy, dance.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. I know, and then he has that smirk that's like, you little stickler.
My daughter, we were traveling when she turned 3,
Yeah.
she was off to like 6. You know, while it was kind of going on, and I think between like new environment and everything else, it's like right when she turned
I'm already
3, it
in
was
order,
just like,
okay. So you can go.
all the behavior came out, I was like, oh, I hope this isn't like, turn 3 and,
I'm a brother, but she was the second one. So, yeah.
Matthew, my son, we did film.
Yep, I'm doing that this summer.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
You can do it, I'll let you,
I
I'll
would
help you.
recommend you get,
Yeah.
when you're there, to be pondering coming back over the arrow. Because they come back and do a 2-week version of it. We do a week of it where you're in the backcountry, we do trail man
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they give you even more free reign. And they have even cooler things when you're there. And you kind of pay for it by the month.
Yeah, so you went twice?
Yeah. So I went twice as a youth, I never did order the arrow. But he did, and really enjoyed that. So if you like film on it,
Yeah.
be pondering order the arrow and film on it. Or there are Facebook people who.
It's
Yeah,
so
order
long.
arrows.
Okay, yeah.
When we went out.
Lily's so sweet, every time she comes in for
The first
lessons,
time I
she was
met
like,
you, there was a kid
"Hi."
on there, he was trying to
Yeah.
limited.
He's always excited about
He
it.
was trying to do like the trifecta that
He likes
summer,
the
so
water,
he had
that's
to order
for
the
sure.
arrow in all 3 bases. And I don't know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
It's the outdoor pavilion.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I assume.
Last year, she started,
There now, too.
they tried teaching her diving, and
But he was doing
anyway,
the Florida.
they were doing it at one point where I was like having to like help her go in, and I was kind of learning a little bit too much, and she went under and she was not happy about the diving after that. She was like, no, I'm not, you know, they're
I'm
getting
done
doing
with
that.
that,
Like, I'll do the other stuff, but not that.
Did you get anything else? That's okay. Sometimes it takes me a
Well, we're
while
doing
to
it in
get
June, however, I'm not going because Philmont crosses over, and I'm also going on a mission trip to Honduras, so I kind of didn't want to do 10 days at Marlow and 12 days at Philmont and a week in Honduras. So it's kind of, I just,
That actually sounds great.
yeah, I don't know. Like I want to do stuff here. So I'm passing up on Marlow this year because I've already gone
I
4
know.
times. So yeah, I've already been to Honduras twice, but
A mission trip?
yeah.
Alright. You guys do construction projects?
We do a little bit of that. We've done concrete and painting and yeah. It's more like a support to the people doing long-term missions.
Yeah.
I've had several people tell me that they've already used it, various events that have occurred.
Your power go up?
Neighbor plumbing drama.
That apparently turned into electrical.
Legs.
Just got dark.
Combined with a raccoon.
Oh.
Yeah. It was all the drama rolled into one.
My next door neighbor's getting moved.
You have to make sure that there's no nails in the street when you drive.
I will have to check, yeah. It's fine, is that
Neat.
probably
Yes,
right?
it's a good
Still
point.
they never park board meetings,
It's starting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of, just start.
We do. We're just missing, Alex is stuck behind a train. She just called and George let us know he was gonna.
Oh, I saw that, the train, and I got across before it got there.
We will call our meeting to order and get started. So I guess we'll make a meeting here and do we have public comments?
Yes, we do. So, I'm glad to hear that the generator worked when called upon by the storms to do so. And I hope that we take better care of it than the silent wind chimes on Johnson and Merriam that are starting to mold over. The Casey Hearts thing that's on the corner over there is getting a lot of people looking at our city. People like to see those hearts. And between the mold on the tower and the trees that are overgrowing the benches, we could do better, I think, in that area of our city by taking care of that so it's nice and tidy. We also have the 2 fans in the natatorium that have both failed. I think we could do a little bit better with preventative maintenance to keep that from happening. The Basque artwork now has been about 9 months that has been offline. There's been an offer for free repair of it. It's been turned down. That's disappointing. And there's a door to our art gallery that has been dysfunctional since the center opened 5 years ago. It's been a while. And rather than fixing it, it was chosen to just leave it locked permanently. So that's not great stewardship of our facilities. So those are opportunities to do better. Please do with that what you will. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, move on to approve last month's minutes. Does anybody have any comments or edits? Have a chance to review those? Anybody have a motion to approve last month's, the March 2026 meeting minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes, the March 24th.
Second,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
No one's opposed. All right, Anna, director's report.
As always, the director report is included in your packet. You do have a few updates to the information that was shared. All the pool loungers have had their slings replaced. There are a few upright chairs that still need to be completed, but it's staff goal to have that done this week. And our goal is also to have water in the pool starting tomorrow by the end of the day. So they were pulling plugs and doing some final cleans. There's a few numbers that still need to be painted, but the goal is that we will have a full pool, by the end of this week. So that is great. That's the timing we always want to be. We'll start slowly adding chemicals to it and then work on balancing it. So it's nice to kind of have a slow startup from that perspective. The south fan in the natatorium is working once again after the power outage. That is what caused it to trip, and it didn't come back on when the generator restarted. It came on the first time, but not the second time. It just took us a little bit of time to get up and get that looked at, but it is working again. As noted, the north fan is slated for maintenance. It was maintenance last year in August with repair work done, and it cannot be looked at again until the pool is empty. So in August, when we drain the pool and do our cleaning, is the best time to look at that, and we will address that at that time. Shelter rentals kicked off the 2026 season this weekend of April 25th and 26th, or this past weekend, excuse me, times are away from me. We are discussing a better way to address the operations of back-to-back shelter rentals for the 2026 season. So currently you can rent like Chat Lane in the morning, and someone else could rent Chat Lane in the afternoon, and we like to get somebody in there in between that time. And we're just looking at a better way to manage our staffing of that time in between those two shelters when that occurs. Last year we had the janitor leave this building. That's not the best solution. So we've got some options we're exploring and talking to different people to help us provide a better gap in that service. And then the Merriam Marketplace restrooms were temporary. They were open, and then they had to be temporarily closed. There was some vandalism over the weekend, so we've closed them until the repairs can be made. Our facilities has assured me that they will be reopened by the market open this weekend. It's just taking them a little bit of time to get some parts that are required to finalize those repairs. So those were my updates. I'm happy to answer any questions or discussion of the information that was included, or if there's anything else you'd like clarification on.
I'm gonna celebrate that Jack Sparks is starting in 2 days. We have the new superintendent.
Yes, we are excited about that.
And I just have a question. What is GeroFit?
GeroFit is a Veterans Administration program for veterans that are, I don't wanna say geriatric, but that's what Gero stands for in their world. And so we've offered that. This is the third year that we are this will be the third term we renewed that agreement. So veterans come here, they have one of two timeframes that they can come to their class. It's a slower time for the facility, so it works well for them to come in and offer that, and it's a good support group for our veterans.
Yeah. I've heard of it, yeah. I was like-
Keeps them active and keeps them engaged, people that might not necessarily participate in fitness normally on their own. Yeah.
Is that generally from the Merriam area or
No,
wider reaching?
it's Veterans Administration, so it is metro-wide people. There are people in there that are from this area that I've seen participate in car show, and I know that they're Merriam residents, but we also know that they're pulling from, and they selected this location because of our location on 35 to the metro. We're easy to get to, easy to find. Yeah. Unlike other ones that probably are closer to the VA, not as easily accessible. Any other questions?
Just the past, what did you decide for Jack's role? What would be really just what Dave was doing, or you mentioned maybe restructuring?
We did restructure. It is a superintendent position, not an assistant position. So it's gonna be more, day-to-day operations. So he's going to oversee the welcome desk and the pool, which is something Dave also did. But there's also going to be, probably more oversight into, programs and just things that I was doing that are coming off of my plate also related to operations. Yes, so I got a nice detail of things to start working on for onboarding.
The manufacturer for the fans, the large ones, is that technically big ass fans? Like,
No, it's not.
Okay, I know that's one of the main
Yes,
ones that
it
make
is,
those.
it is, but it is, this one,
Okay.
these are not that. We do have some in this building, and they're actually the ones in the fitness center, and the group backs are actually that brand of fan, but these are not that brand.
Yeah, okay, I know some of those big fans are really a pain to get some of those parts, and, yeah.
They are somewhat temperamental, and
Yeah.
they are in an environment that is corrosive, so they do require
Yeah.
a lot of maintenance, but we need to be mindful of when the maintenance is done for the experience of, and so since one is working, we'll see what's going on with that north, or that, the north fan.
Did we get any, major water issues with all the rain and all the storms?
We had a few leaks, they were actually out today to address a few of the issues, but we have fixed, I mean, over time, those have shown themselves, so, it wasn't, the worst part about the rain is when we have a power outage. The desert air stops working and it releases water. So we're trying to figure out how to, stop that from occurring.
Where
Or
did-
prevent the water from entering the building. We can't stop it from releasing the water, but where it discharges that water, we're trying to figure that out.
Where is it currently discharging the water?
Into the fitness area, into the building, because of the amount of water that's in the system. When we lose pressure, it looks like a rainforest in the building. And it literally is, like, yeah.
Even glad, more glad that we have the, backup generators now.
Yeah. And we are very glad about that. It's just figuring that piece out now.
Yeah. Any issues with like on any of the parks with all the rain or?
Parks?
Yeah, yeah.
No, just the typical areas where, you know, big,
Low ground.
low ground, yeah. But no, everything there is,
I saw some of the city updates at like, 2 in the morning with like just how high the creek was. It was
Right.
crazy.
yeah, but that's how our parks are, designed to, if it does come out in the parks, they're designed to take that water and then let it go back.
One of my neighbors runs and they had positive feedback about how the sidewalks weren't washed out, that the runoff was really well done.
Good. Yeah, there was one spot at Waterfall Park I noticed on Friday. I pointed it out to Public Works since they do the majority of our maintenance, and it's not something that we're responsible for. I did not point out a spot for them to go check out because it was still holding water on Friday, so,
Turkey Creek never did get over,
not to my knowledge, no.
cause I was around there in the morning and everything looked great.
Yeah.
It's been so dry.
Okay, any other questions about my update? I'll move on to, membership comparison and March visits. Those numbers again are included in your, packet. I always like to give you a forecast of what we're looking at for this current month. We're looking like it's gonna be about exact to 2025. We're averaging about 368 visits a day, and that's what we averaged last year. So this would be one of the first months that we kind of see I don't wanna say a plateau, but just kind of an even, amount of visits. We'll see what that looks like by the end of the month. Obviously, weather does play a factor. These nice cooler days, people wanna stay outside, I don't blame them, and take advantage of it before it gets too hot to be outside. And then daily visitation is likely to fall short of, average from 2025. We were averaging 45 a day, and in 2026, we're averaging 41 a day. So not horrible difference, just a slight dip, which again, weather plays a factor in that. When it's nice, you wanna be outside. We encourage them to be outside, so. And then, revenue for April, we've already exceeded 2025. We did that on Monday afternoon, pretty early in the afternoon, as a matter of fact, so that was exciting to know. The rest of this week is just, we beat it, so like to continue to show that improvement in programs and revenues that we're working on as a staff, so. Any questions about that information? Okay. Just moving down the list. Quarter one financials were included in your, packet. We like to just give you these updates quarterly, just so you know we're watching them, but also that if you guys have any questions with anything that you see in regards to that, I'd like to give just a little recap of what we're seeing. Obviously through quarter one, you'd like to see if everything was equal. We'd like to see all the lines at 25%, both on the revenue side and on the expenditure side. Obviously that's not the world we live in, and that's why it's called managing your budget. There are 6 expenditure lines that exceed 25%. That would be group insurance. Can you see that okay? Do I need to make that bigger? Sorry. I'm looking at it on a computer screen, so it looks a little different to me. Is that better? Yeah. So there's 6 that are over 25%, and that would be group insurance, unemployment tax, workers' compensation, other contractual services, repair and maintenance, and miscellaneous equipment. So I don't have anything to do with group insurance. That's a set rate. I wish I could control that. We'll likely see that drop after, in quarter 2, because we didn't pay for Dave's insurance and for a section of that. And Jack won't be on, so we'll see that drop a little bit, but then it'll depend on what insurance Jack takes, and what that looks like over time. Unemployment tax, it is what it is. Again, not something I can control. And workers' compensation is something that is paid for the year, so that expense has already been experienced for the year. So it will remain where it's at for the remainder of the year. The variances in other contractual services, repair and maintenance and miscellaneous equipment. Other contractual services is the goose management. We didn't have that last year. It is working well. We're going to keep them through the first part of May, because that will get us through the mating, nesting, babies are here season, and then we'll be able to eliminate that. But if you have not had an opportunity to look out on the pool deck, it looks significantly better than what it did last year. And as we begin filling the pool, that would be a huge concern if we still had, that was the concern last year. So it does look significantly better. We'll likely have to run that program for a couple of years, but it's been well received. Most of the time you don't even know the dogs are on site. They're in and out so fast. So, but it has made a marked difference even on the campus. When you're walking in, there isn't as much feces walking in, and they haven't necessarily, we haven't gotten the complaints from patrons about a scary goose on they're on the roof.
Very aggressive.
They are very aggressive. So that overall, it's been well received by everyone. And then repair and maintenance, it's getting ready for the pool season. So there have been some pump repairs that needed to be done to get ready for the outdoor season, painting the outdoor pool deck. So some of that is just experience of the season and getting ready for the season. And then miscellaneous equipment, we bought a new floor machine. Of the $10,000 in that line, that was $6,500. So you'll see that come back down. But those are why those things. And so we like to look at it to be able to provide that justification. So overall, the expenses are 19.3%. So we're well below the 25% when you look at the overall budget. From the revenue side of things, that's pretty exciting again as we report each month and are able to share that we beat. Now when I give you our revenue update, that's for the entire department, that's not just for the community center. I don't break it down when I tell you we beat 2025 actuals. I'm looking at everything we do. I haven't looked specifically at community center, but if we're beating it year over year, the community center is the driver of that for the most part. There are some seasonal things that play into that with the transient guest tax. But as you can see, there are 8 lines that are below 25%, 4 tied to seasonal summer operations, which obviously have not started yet. Aquatic rentals, summer membership, swim team, and concessions are those lines. The remaining 4 are smaller programs that represent less than 5% of our overall budget. Youth fitness, vending machine revenue, and then preschool program, or not preschool programs, youth programs and land group fitness. So those are smaller programs. We're also for 28, 27 have adjusted those lines to be more in close to actuals. We're still growing programs, still looking to grow these programs. Staff is actually actively working to build them, and the participation in our communications team is really helping with that. The good thing is overall, our revenues are 28.3% of budget. So we're doing really well maintaining our expenses and doing really well bringing in some additional revenue. So we are excited about that. We'll continue to monitor this as the year goes, but happy to answer any questions over Q1.
I know that our year-round folks have been really understanding of our membership increase because they see the long term. Have any staff reported apprehension from summer only folks who might be coming in about changes?
I don't think we've had too many summer only yet.
Yeah, we haven't had many people. They've inquired about it, but no one's like really signed up yet since they don't take into effect.
But nobody's been like, no way, it's.
No.
Okay.
No. And one of the drivers of that is so they'll look at the monthly and they'll be like, well, we'll just do the monthly. And staff does a really good job of going, okay, you realize you have to give us a 30-day notice if you don't give us a 30-day notice, this continues. So even though the summer membership is a little bit more than the monthly, you could end up paying for more if you don't follow through and do the 30, this is a set time frame, and if that's the time frame you're gonna use, and they do get access to the whole facility. So that's the other selling point that staff really work on, is when they come in, they say they want a summer membership for the pool, staff goes, well, our membership includes everything, not just the pool, and then that intrigues some other conversations among them. So that's typically how it's been going. We've learned over the last several summers, just because we've had people that are like, wait a second, it's like, well, you signed the agreement and we tell you that. So we're trying to be more proactive when we approach those. Any other questions? All right, you okay if I just keep moving down the agenda? Okay, please do. No, you're fine. I'll take notes in case. All right, Brunch with the Bunny is our first program evaluation. A detailed evaluation again in the packet, but this is a well-received event. It reached maximum registrations, and one thing we've started tracking is a wait list to trying to decide if and when we want to add potentially a second session of this. With only 7 on the wait list, it doesn't create that need yet. If we were to create a second session, it would just be 2 attended events. So we continue to track that wait list, and staff does a really good job of sending out reconnects to people, asking them, hey, you're registered, if you're not gonna make it, we've got people on the wait list. And this year we had one family that, who knows, the day of the event could have woke up and somebody was sick. So, but we do a really good job of trying to get that communication out and make sure that we get as many people into the event as possible. Staff also does a good job with this event, actually a tremendous job balancing the cost of the event along with the cost of supplies while providing a great experience for the participants. We've been doing this long enough now. I think this was our 11th or 12th year that we've done this event. And so we've got kind of a good system for that, but Ingrid does a really good job with this program. So we're happy with, you know, we don't need to make money, but with programs like this, we do like to cover our costs. That's our goal, is that if you're attending something like this, we're not subsidizing that program. So a really good job there. Other than that, we're ready to do it again next year. So any questions about Brunch with the Bunny?
My family had a great time, and
Good.
yeah, enjoyed the pancakes, and hunting for the eggs and everything. There's a couple feedback on the eyes of this Easter Bunny kind of looking a little scary or dark to look at, but I don't, again, it's a rental, so I don't know if you have much options.
Well, that's the best option. If you go look at bunny option rental suits, for $65 for the day, but if you go and look at our options, there are some scary bunny heads. So this is the best option out there, unfortunately.
And the hottest one, it looks like.
It is pretty good. Christopher can attest.
This is a singular weight loss program on its own.
Yes, it is.
But it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a good idea from Ingrid and the team, like, having candy bags after instead of having them like in the eggs and all of that. And I don't know if you're, if I ever do, or whenever we do like Easter eggs, you always find Easter eggs everywhere afterwards, and ants and everything else. So that was pretty well thought out.
Well, and the other thought that Ingrid's concerned with is what you can actually put in there, and if it's hot, then it melts, or and so we've been doing it that way. So that's good feedback to have, because we always kind of look at it and like, what do people think about getting an empty Easter egg? But do they recognize that they're getting an empty egg, or are they just turning in the eggs? So.
Yeah, it was good. It was well done. So.
Good, thank you. I'll make sure we share that with Ingrid. Any other comments or questions? All right. Magical Kingdom Party. This is the second year for this event, so it's in its infancy, and we're still working to figure a few things out. As you can tell, this one is not quite as successful in cost recovery. There's a little bit of a difference between what we brought in and what we spent. Obviously, the princesses are an important part of this, and they're the most expensive piece, but we are evaluating some of the other, expenses, such as can we do something different than a glitter artist, and maybe bring in different entertainment for the day? Do we need to evaluate what we're charging for the event? I think the kids portion is fine, but if we're going to charge for adults, what are the adults getting for their $5? Could we do something to increase that a little bit and maybe make up the difference on what adults are getting out of the event as well? So kind of looking at those types of things. The goal is to offer it again next year and continue to evaluate. We don't like to cut and run after a couple of years. We like to see if we can get it to go. It did grow in attendance this year, so that's a positive. So, you know, it's a new event, so we gotta give it time to grow and mature, so. Anyway, happy to answer any questions about that.
We didn't do the one this year, but the year before, my daughter really liked the glitter
Yeah.
artist, and I don't know, she was a little bit devastated like a couple days later when all the glitter came off. The Moana tattoo came off and everything, but yeah, I know there's lots of options out there, but.
There are, it's just such it's a time consuming
Yeah.
piece of the event for a participant, but it's also a huge expense to the event, so.
Yeah.
If we can manage it between getting more people to attend, it would be one thing, but we gotta figure out the balance.
So let me be clear, you're urging permanent children's tattoo.
I mean, I think she would like
Just
that,
the
yeah.
glitter. Just wanna make sure I'm understanding.
I mean, I noticed Brunch with the Bunny utilized local NHS, like potentially there could be an opportunity with the graduation requirements changing and the requirements for community service. You might be able to get a local art club, like one of the high schools,
that's
to
true.
come in.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that.
Even like I've seen some of the face paint, people had, you know,
I
are
just
typically
use our
cheaper than I've
kiddos
seen
now
for
and they did
smaller things,
great.
but yeah.
I'm sorry, who do you?
I just use our kiddos like
Oh,
a school
yeah.
for our events. Saves me a ton of money.
Do you have the supplies?
I go out during Halloween and buy the crayons and I just store them in mass.
There you go.
Less messy than paint.
Just looking for other options when we start looking at those types
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, and it's funny how much grade school kids love to interact with like high school, middle school age kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we might on that front be able to maybe do something similar to what we do with the bunny costume and rent princess dresses and find kids in drama club that might
I would wear them.
want to be a princess for the day. That would not be something I would want to do, but
Yeah, especially with North's drama program being as huge as it is.
yeah. We'll check into all those. Those are great suggestions and ways to think outside the box that, you know, sometimes we forget to do.
Okay, you could, cross-pollinate and have drag queen princesses.
I
It's a good thing.
I
Or
didn't
just
think about that.
princes.
You're wanting to
Drag
be
kings.
Elsa is what I'm hearing.
Oh, you're not hearing that. I've had enough nieces to have my fill of Elsa.
I'm not a frozen princess queen either. Let it go. Got too much. And I was at the end of that stage. All right, any other questions? We'll move on to upcoming events. I don't know why this was so little. I'm not sure what I pulled in, but well, whew, I was having a moment apparently. Farmers Market opens Saturday. We're very excited for this season. The reusable tote will be distributed Saturday. It looks like it's going to be great weather. And then there'll be a live performance by the Maybells from 10 to noon. So, opening day, opening entertainment. So Ingrid's got a great lineup of vendors and she's getting things. They had a good preseason meeting, so it sounds like it's gonna be a great opening day. Any questions about the season? Every Saturday, 10 to 1. Why did I put 10 to noon? I need to change that. I don't know what I was doing. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, never mind. I thought I had an ending time. I didn't. My brain was All right, a week from this Thursday is our opening reception of Explorations with Heather Hubner and Dwayne Nargon. So it looks like, we're gonna have just 2 artists this time, 7 to 8:30. Refreshments will be provided. Chocolate chip cookies and a Cinco de Mayo theme of mango salsa and I know, I thought I could remember and I can't remember the third thing, so, try to find a theme to go depending on what the food of the month is, so that will be, there's a third thing there, but I'm blanking on what it is at the moment. But anyway, any questions about opening reception?
My youngest is really into photography, and so we came to the last
Okay.
one. It was really well attended, and he really enjoyed it.
No, good, yeah, those some
At least
pretty.
while we were there.
Yeah, there are some
There was
beautiful.
also the church, and so we were.
Yeah, the church event, yeah. We try not to do that, but that kinda snuck in there, so. But it was, there's some really interesting pieces in that.
Yeah. He's very serious about photography. He was really impressed with particularly one of the 2 artists.
Well, good. All right, moving on to Turkey Creek 5K. Exciting news to share about the 5K. As of today, we have 200 runners registered for the 5K. So at this point of the event, we're very excited about that number. The goal, everybody's looking to beat last year's numbers, that's always the goal. And this is the first year, obviously, without Dave. So Cole and Chloe have been spearheading that. They've been doing some great reels on Facebook and promos outside of that, I guess on Instagram also. I don't necessarily follow either of those on a regular basis. But April 30th is the deadline for early bird registration. We've had 1 school, East Antioch, has already submitted their runners. We're still, we believe we have 2 more coming and possibly a 3rd, but we know for sure 2. So 5K, 8 a.m. Do you have a question?
Yeah, what initiated the change in the name?
Well, it's still the Turkey Creek Festival 5K. Historically, like way back in the day, it was called One Hell of a Race.
Okay.
And so Chloe heard that and she grabbed onto it and was like, oh, we should take it back to One Hell of a Race. It's really mile 2, that's One Hell of a Race. Once you get past mile 1, it's really mile 2, that's the hill. It's all uphill, it seems. So, yeah, that's what it was. Any other questions about the 5K? Chloe's done a good job getting some new sponsorship, or some additional sponsorship this year, so, we've got some sponsors this year that, she's added to from last year, which is awesome.
And the team price that's a good price.
Yeah, we've stayed there for a while, $20
I
a
didn't-
person.
No, it's 25 per person.
Yeah, for the team though, the
Oh, there's
team
only
is
4 on the team.
4 on a team.
Oh, I thought maybe the schools came in with the whole.
They do,
team.
we extend the team to $20 a person per team. So we break them down into teams of 4.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, we do that specifically for the team, for the schools to keep that price. There aren't very many, there's a handful of people that will get a group of people together, but that group price is mainly for the schools. To keep the schools, keep it affordable for the schools. And then obviously Turkey Creek event itself will follow after at 10 o'clock. Renee is recruiting volunteers, everybody should have gotten an email. If you have not responded, you better, there's only a few coveted spots remaining. So make sure you get in touch with Renee if you want to, if you're available to volunteer. I will be taping a promotional spot with Fox 4 the week of the festival. They are gonna do a pie eating contest live, or as part of that promotion. I will not be participating in that portion of the taping.
Team spirit.
No, I do not. Food eating contests do not do well for
You
me.
just be a cheerleader.
I am gonna be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Logan has,
Oh, good.
gonna do that for the team. He's requested an apple pie, against one of the, I guess the person that's doing the interview. I don't know, food eating contests are not my cup of tea. That just, just the thought of it does not settle well.
remember that awful scene?
Yes.
Stuck with me my whole life.
I unfortunately have someone in my family that participates in food eating contests. I cannot go.
The hot dog eating people that are like those.
Have they said when that's gonna air?
I don't know exactly. I'm taping it on the 13th, and then it's gonna run sporadically through from that point forward until the 16th. So I think it'll just be, it's not designed to be, I don't know if it'll be part of the news or just part of the commercials. The communications team set it up, so I'm gonna learn. This is the first time we've done something like this. I've gone on, KC Today, it's a daytime show, like at 10 o'clock on KCTV5. Is that what that
It's
is?
on 5.
Yeah, it's on 5. I know where the station is. I've done that a couple of times, and that's a live, like you're in the studio, and that's an experience. And that one, we know when that's gonna air, but these, I don't know when they're gonna air yet.
I think it's gonna be great though.
If I get the schedule, I'll share so you guys can check it out. It's my favorite when I get like snaps of the TV. Saw you on TV today. And then, communication, and Renee and Logan have worked out a great communication plan to start promoting, the festival. With having a dedicated communication team now, we're starting to see a lot. It's been very helpful and very beneficial to our program, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that dedicated team now helps us with our bigger events, so we're excited about that. Now we're just have our fingers crossed for beautiful weather. Not too hot, not too cold, no rain. That's like the best day. People come and they stay all day. So maybe a little warmer than today, not too much sun. 13 years of it, we've kind of figured out what the best weather is. Anyway, any questions about the festival? Excited for another year. And then Concert in the Courtyard, the community concert series. I'm sorry, we need to change the name of that title because it should not be that. Community concert series, this will be the second one in this series. This time it will be Carrie King here in the Courtyard. It's a Thursday evening from 6 to 7. The last event there were 40,
Nice,
50
yeah.
people. So we're hoping to have kind of a similar turnout, maybe a few more now that we're getting closer to summer. So this is replacing Concert in the Courtyard. That's why I made the mistake and mistitled it. My brain was still wrapped around that. But this is replacing that event. And we're gonna see if we can build up the use of our wonderful courtyard as part of this community concert series. Any questions about that event?
Is this a bring your own chair?
It kind of is. We have a handful of chairs, but not enough, so,
A lot of people brought their own.
yeah.
Get there early.
Okay. The last thing I have before we get to new business is just the Public Art Committee. There was no meeting in April. We had no business to really discuss. It was mainly just an update to the committee about the number of RFQs that we had received. And so our next meeting will be May 14th. All right.
New business.
New business.
We need to review the Girl Scout request to the facilities at the discounted rate.
Yes, we do. So included in the packet was a cover letter kind of explaining staff's position on, the request, and then I included their request beyond that. We've been doing this event for several years. Every year we seem to get a few more people. Last year we had significantly more people. We definitely have to increase the number of staff we have in the building. We need to go from 2 to 4 to manage the trash, the restrooms, room flips, just the people in general, and what people in the building do. So that's one of the changes that we're adding to this agreement. The other change that we're adding to this agreement is last year the building did not get cleaned by our cleaning crew because they weren't willing to adjust their schedule without charging us a fee. So we've negotiated a fee with our contract cleaners for them to come back and do a clean of the building. Because if we don't get that done, then we are catching up all day and the next day. And so they've agreed to come back and do a clean start earlier in the morning, later to their night, but they will do that for a fee of $200. Since the Girl Scouts are the ones that are causing that to occur, that fee needs to be passed on to them. And then just in general, the amount of staff time that it takes to get prepared for this rental, the amount of time it takes to interact with them. While they are requesting a reduction in fee, staff is looking at it from the standpoint of, is the resident rate the right rate at this point? And we feel the non-resident rate would be a more appropriate fee to charge them for the amount of people and the amount of labor that it takes. We have to get tables from City Hall. We have to flip a couple rooms throughout the night. It's not a traditional rental, and it's not like other requests that we get that once we set the room, it's done for the night. So after doing this for several years, we want to encourage them to come back, but we also have to be mindful of the resources that we're using to host this event and the staff labor that it takes pre-event to get ready for this event. So with that being said, staff is recommending that Park Board approve the non-resident rate this year. If you look at the chart that follows, it's a difference of $900 at the end of the day. While not significant, that $900 for the amount of time that staff is spending that would cover that expense.
Are they aware at all that it's gonna go up this year?
Not yet.
I mean, not commercial, we're kind of meeting them in the
I'm
middle.
trying to meet that in the middle. I mean, commercial would be $9,000, and that would be a $2,000 increase, whereas this is $900. And that includes, that does include the additional staff, and it doesn't, because they do get a discount. The discount still applies, because we even talked about, well, could we not apply the discount of, you spent $5,000, you get a $1,500 discount. And we as staff looked at several different options to get them the best rate, and at the end of the day, felt that the best option for us, is to meet that in the middle.
Well, what is that discount? I mean, how do you
We
decide that?
we did that that's part of our rental packages. So if someone comes in with a wedding and they're going to rent a significant amount of time, like, so let's say you're gonna have a wedding here and you want it Friday till Saturday, we wanted to be competitive with other venues, and so we looked at it as a tier discount depending on how much money you spend. We would give you a discount. So anybody is eligible for that discount if they reach the amount spent. It's part of our rental policy. It's not specific to this group at all.
Where's that?
Right here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Somebody last year had asked, and I just don't remember, a good question I thought was how, like, what percent of the Girl Scouts utilizing it are local?
Mhm.
Did we, do we know?
There's one troop that comes from Merriam. The rest of them are all from the greater Kansas City area. So there was one, for Merriam being a small city, one troop. The rest of them split between, but they've never broken down the percentage from Johnson County to Missouri, or Douglas County, or Miami County, because they're pretty far reaching into other counties.
I mean, to me, that makes meeting them in the middle sound really reasonable.
How much of an addition over last year is this approximately gonna be for them?
$900.
Okay, I heard you say 900.
Well,
I
I
don't know
should
if that's what you
say
meant.
it's gonna be a little bit more than that. I'd have to go back and look, because we did
Okay.
add we did change. So the 1,080 would be double, because last year it was only 2, so that's 500, that's 700, so that's $700. So it would have been the $700 increase no matter what, so at the end of the day, it's $900.
Okay.
Do they use the child watch area?
They do.
I was trying to remember, about how many participants are they projecting?
They usually have, 400 kids, and she said that last time.
Yeah, I was feeling it's like 600.
Total was more than that. I'll look it back in our minutes. Yeah, I was thinking it was close to 8.
I was just trying to think, you're looking at what, $1 or $2 a participant?
Yeah, it wouldn't be horrible.
I know they said they prefer it, they want to have it here and they like it. Have they ever indicated they would be getting pricing from any other venues?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are there other facilities that, based on what staff knows, could offer them what we're offering?
Oh, probably not at this rate.
Matt Ross and Sylvester Powell, but they're
Right.
really the same setup.
Yeah, they're not, they're expecting 500 to 600 girls. So they had 513 in 2026 from the girl perspective, and then they have their chaperones, so that gets us to about 800 people in the building.
And we know last year, we needed more monitors, staff,
We needed more staff last year, yes. And
and they know that too, I would expect.
they do,
Okay.
they do. I thought she would be here tonight, as a matter of fact, just to hear this, but she doesn't have to be. So what we're looking for after you guys have your discussion and ask all your questions is we just need a recommendation of how you want us to proceed.
I feel like just guesstimating how much they would make from the unit, I don't feel like this would be unreasonable for them. Like, I know they buy a lot of supplies. They get put on a lot, but if you think they charge a per girl rate to come, I think that they're probably getting between $1,800 and $2,000 or something. And then to cover their expense, I don't think it's unreasonable.
She always says that, you know, they don't make money on this event, they break even, so whatever they bring in, they manage their budget, so, you know, they haven't had an increase with us since they've come. Last year, there were just a few incidents that we just need to, and they always do better the next year, and then they come back and, hey, like, come on guys, like, girls can't be doing this and this and this, like, remember? And it's not anything egregious, it's not anything horrible, it's just that general reminder that, you know, we have a facility we need to maintain, and we wanna make sure that, we are maintaining, what we're given.
I agree. I would protect what we have here and take good care of it.
If nobody has anything else, a motion to approve with the non-resident, right?
I'd second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay, I will let them know tomorrow. That concludes everything that I had on the agenda, but if anybody has anything else for the good of the,
Anybody else? Can I make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
One second.
Aye.
alright, thank you guys, have a good evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Busy this spring stuff.
And with the new generator, why did the desert air go offline?
It's just that time of year.
I got my files and stuff.
Well,
but
Billy,
it's
like
got,
anything
the
that's
homework
electronic,
done,
as
kinda
soon as
goes down.
it has, the generator has to start. So everything
I don't really
stops
know. I'm kinda just
until
trying
the
to get
generator
through
can
it.
get
Just
on,
living.
and
I'm
then
like,
it starts
I
back
kinda
up.
wanna be
So
like
that small amount of
surprised,
time is
you know,
enough
it's like,
for
something
condensation to
like-
come in?
And
It's
it
alarming,
takes it
but yeah,
longer
I
to
get that.
start than it does to stop.
Okay.
So once the power comes on, it's a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
For the generator to start, it's 30 seconds.
Gotta boot
So
up.
anytime that there's a stop in power, that's gonna cause the desert air to.
I was like.
It
stuck
sounds
in
like
a
it wasn't
train,
installed
dropping my
right. Have
kids
we
in
ever had the
truck.
installer come back and fix like a missing
We
check
are
valve?
constantly working with the desert air unit.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye, thank you.
What kind of vandalism, Anna? You mentioned vandalism in the marketplace.
We've only gone one
What
time.
kind of vandalism took place there?
Recently.
They broke a mirror, they broke a
We
light
tend to do
switch,
Carnival
had a food
or,
fight in the bathroom.
Okay.
Nothing major.
Princess.
All right. And the community, Ms.
Vicky
Slocum?
loves to go cruising, and I enjoy it, and so if she's like, I really want to go on a cruise. Yeah. I've spent a lot of my life like, hey, I'm gonna leave for a month and a half. just a teacher who's a huge fan of her.
Yeah, and, his daughter, for their anniversary file, she started in Paris and went to Andy, and worked their way.
He seems to be in a mood, huh?
So they, like,
Seems to be in a mood, huh?
they would have been on the set, and then I don't know when they crossed over and went to Germany.
Why, what's up?
I have some questions.
We're moving, I don't remember, wow, let's look.
She doesn't let me speak in the meeting anymore, so.
We did,
That I asked her after.
maybe I'm lying, maybe they flew to Paris, one Paris to Paris thing, and we did, Switzerland, Germany, like comes to mind, Germany on, Friday, France on the left, up to, yeah, it was really nice. We hadn't talked about it, but,
How are you?
Outstanding, yourself?
Not too shabby. Good to see you.
Would you let Anna know I had a couple other questions?
Yeah, sorry, colds. Yes, I'll let her know.
Thank you.
I was here for.
Oh, okay.
You gotta see him.
Hold on, guys, together.
Where are you? Well, I'm gonna be there probably about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna ask. Billy, what on the agenda were you curious about?
The courtyard stuff.
She was on the phone.
Oh.
I went back there.
Okay,
So, you know, I kind of was like,
yeah, I can wait a little bit. Concert in the courtyard, do you know if we have any food vendors coming for that? Food trucks?
Like the new one that she was talking about, like that female artist?
No, the concert
Okay, the
outside.
actual one?
Yeah, because we've had a couple concerts out there before, and I felt like they weren't very well
Are you
attended.
taking like food trucks or like?
Yeah, like maybe like where those round ball things are, we could park a couple trucks there.
Do
You
the
know?
bollards come out?
The what?
The bollards, like the.
One of them does actually, to facilitate driving right on up to the front door. I don't know that that would be the best place for them, you know. I think in the past, she said something like the attendance wasn't good enough to have food, but I don't know, like Party in Your Park has food, you know, the city does that. Not a food truck typically. So there's other ways to get food to those events, I was just curious if we would do that, to draw more people in.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I know you're like pretty interested in like the homey feel of Merriam.
I love this city, thank you.
Like there's an idea I was thinking about because I understand that Topeka has their own license plates.
Uh-huh.
And I was made aware that you could like get city license plates.
Yeah.
What would you think about like Merriam having Merriam license plates?
That'd be pretty damn cool. It sounds pretty ambitious. Wichita's an enormous city.
Yes.
Compared to little old Merriam. You know, the Wichita plates, they remind me of Umbrella Corp. Do you know what that is? Resident Evil? I think that was the movie. Might be before your
I don't
time.
know, I haven't watched it, I'm not big into movies, but.
There's a zombie movie about like an underground government bunker where they're doing like developing new viruses or something, and it leaks and it causes zombies all over the world. Resident Evil, and the name of the corporation was Umbrella Corp.
Okay.
And it looks just like the Wichita license plates.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I'd be curious to know how Bob would feel about that.
a Merriam license plate design.
I think it'd be.
Yeah. I think it would be hard to get it to happen because it does take an act of the legislature, I think, to do a custom plate. And Kansas has thousands of cities, right? I think it's, well, I should know that number, but it's at least 1,000, you know? But we have good graphic design talent, you know? Our Visitors Bureau folks over there, they could absolutely put some together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that I would get one, actually. Sometimes I like to blend into the crowd,
Sure.
you know? So I just have the standard, bog standard license plate, but I still have my bumper sticker on from last year, so I guess that doesn't blend into the crowd anymore. I figure I'll keep my sticker on as long as other people keep theirs, you know?
Well, looks like Anna's not coming on set. I have a question, but.
You got one for her too? I can ask her.
Well, I was just curious about, cause like I'm looking for like, opportunities like with automotive and mechanical stuff. So I was looking to see if there was like an apprenticeship opportunity regarding the fleet management.
The fleet vehicles with the city?
Yeah, like if there's like any maintenance opportunities there.
Yeah. Talk to Celia Kumke. Have you heard that name before?
No, I've not.
Let me write it down. She is the, actually, I'll email you, right? I'm sure you've been on an email chain with me before. Celia is our Public Works Director. Well, maybe I don't have you on there. Would you prefer me to email or write it on something?
Yeah, you can write it down.
Yeah. Celia Kumke is the, or you can come to a city council meeting. She's always at those. She's the Public Works Director. And, I'm sure she'd love to have a hand, you know? What is your age?
I'm 15, so I'm a freshman.
15, okay.
I'm taking automotive classes at Shiner's North.
I think you can legally work at 15.
Yes, so I have a job in it.
So, that's cool.
It's obviously like limited hours, but.
Yeah. I helped a nephew of mine get a job at a pool in KCMO. And the amount of paperwork that he went through to get that thing was nuts. I would never spend that many hours to get a job.
Especially at the pool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it pays, but there was like 400 pages. What? He had to sign like 20 times? So, I do have her email, so let me write that on here.
Were you at the meeting regarding the planning behind downtown?
I'm at all the meetings. You name it, I've probably been to it. Yeah, I was there. Why?
I was curious.
They broke into groups of 5 and they played a card game that the presenter designed to like select the best outcomes in 5 different categories.
Interesting.
This is C. Kumke, Celia Kumke is her name, ccumke@merriam.org. That's your email.
Alright, thanks for doing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The presenter did a really good job, the consultant company, on designing that card game.
Okay.
is probably the nicest production value of any consultant the city has had in the last 12 years. But yeah, they got a lot of ideas. Two of the developers somehow made their way into the community panel. The two biggest developers in our city's history had like a plant in each of the groups, which I thought was a little bit suspect.
Yeah.
But
We'll see.
didn't surprise me.
All right.
Have a nice one.
You too.
We might need to talk about the birthday, just so that we do it, I mean, we do it at the park.
It's Slocum.
Billy, email me your questions, I've got to get home, it's been a long day.
It's not very kind. No professional. But that is the director that we have to work with. It is 19:03 Central Time. That concludes the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board, April 28th, 2026. See you around Merriam.